win of 2005 over their arch rivals from Headingley. Leeds, though, have won their last 5, 4 in the Super League, 1 in the Challenge Cup semi-final, 274 points in those 5 matches. They saw off the Challenge of London last week, and it was an intense struggle for an hour. 8 days ahead of the Challenge Cup final against Hull, they'll have to be focused to get past the Bulls. 4 straight wins behind them, 214 points scored, and former Leeds captain Justin Harris has scored tries in all 4. Now, a month ago, the Bulls were long odds to make a 5th grand final in a row. Now, they are the stalking horse, and the team many believe could deny us a Leeds and St Helens Old Trafford showdown. The Rhinos are almost at full strength. Richard Mathers now the only ever present in the side because Mark Calderwood is out here. Lee Smith takes his place on the wing. It's Chev Walker, Keith Senior and Marcus Bai completing the 3 quarters, with Danny Maguire and Andrew Dooneman at half-back. The forwards, Ryan Bailey, Mike Diskin, Danny Ward, Gareth Ellis, Chris McKenna and Kevin Sinfield, the skipper. And the substitutes bench is warmed by Rob Burrow, Barry McDermott, Ali Lauatiti and Jamie Jones Buchanan. And the coach is Tony Smith. Now the Bradford Bulls, Michael Withers at fullback, Leon Price on the wing, Ben Harris partnering Shontaine Harpy in the centres, and outside him, Leslie Vinacolo. Justin Harris and Paul Deacon at halfback. Up front, it's Stuart Fielden, it's Ian Henderson and Jamie Peacock, Brad Myers and Paul Johnson, with Lee Radford, the loose forward, with Robbie Paul, Joe Vanganar, Andy Lynch and Jamie Langley on the bench. The coach is Brian Noble. Well, Jamie Peacock moves to the front row for his 200th Bradford Bulls appearance. Remarkable record from the skipper. He has not missed a game for 2 years. The same cannot be said for the next man out. That's Leslie Vinacolo. He's missed 8, but back for the last 2, and a try in both of those. A win will see them leapfrog Hull and go 3rd. The Black and Whites face Wigan at the KC Stadium on Sunday, and that is anything but an easy 80 minutes that they face. Bradford first out, and a great following, of course, as always, from just down the road, has moved in to Headingley. So Kevin Sinfield returns. Will he succeed Paul Sculthorpe as the Great Britain captain? That's the big question. And of course there are 1 or 2 little transitional spells going on. Stars leaving both clubs. Jamie Peacock tipped to come here. Marcus Bai and Chris McKenna tipped to go to Bradford. Leon Price to leave Bradford to St Helens. Reardon to Warrington. Radford to Hull. Well, they're all question marks that have to be answered over the next week or 2. The one question that will need to be answered here is how fit and ready are Leeds to take over the top spot into the playoffs with them, and will they have that date in Cardiff on their mind? Will it be a distraction? Ashley Klein is the referee. Tony Smith has said it won't be a distraction. He said some of his players are playing for their places at Cardiff, and so expect a full tilt Super League battle here.
I think you're right, Eddie, and there'll be 2 differing styles. Leeds will want to keep this ball alive. They do not want to get mixed up down the middle. They do not need an arm wrestle, and that is what the Bradford Bulls will be trying to suck them in. Watch out for the 3 quarters out wide. They will be coming in very, very quickly to try to force Leeds into coming down that central position. But it's going to be rough and tough. It'll disappoint me if it isn't. Bradford have only eyes on one thing: grand final.
Kevin Sinfield gets us underway here at Headingley. Justin Harris is underneath the kickoff. Here is Jamie Peacock, and it's a great chase from the kickoff led by Matt Diskin and company. Opening exchanges, Ian Henderson with the run for the Bradford Bulls. Opening exchanges of what is always a memorable occasion whenever Leeds and Bradford come together. Now, in the early exchanges, let me just say that the former Leeds star Gary Schofield's been in touch with us, asking to mention that there's a special day planned for Bank Holiday Monday in aid of Joel McPrin, a young rugby player with the Queen's Amateur Club in Leeds, badly hurt several months ago, but he's made an astonishing recovery. And it's at Queenswood Social Club here in Leeds on the 29th of August. Gary Schofield will be captaining a side that contains the likes of Atkinson, Holmes, Topless, Kelvin Skerritt and Lee Brooks. Midday Monday the 29th at the Queenswood Social Club here in Leeds. It's another very, very well-deserving cause.
What a great lineup as well, don't miss that one. But we've got the great lineup and by the side here, not the best kick from Justin Harris, but the defence is pretty solid from Bradford. Brian Noble will have got the message out, we need good field position, and they won't do it by putting the ball straight down the man's throat.
This is Andrew Duneman for Leeds, over the top, and he finds Danny Maguire. Here now Danny Ward, who gets it to Ryan Bailey. The tackle completed by Brad Myers. This is the last tackle here for Leeds, their opening set of 6. Sinfield dabs the ball down the line, an invitation for Lee Smith. Withers with work to do, and Lee Smith, well, that will do the young man's confidence the power of good.
What a great tactic as well from Sinfield to make sure that this youngster on the wing was going to have a pretty tough night against Leslie Vinacolo. Get him into the action straight away. Don't waste him and let him get nervous. Bang, into the corner. Superb thinking by the Leeds skipper, Kevin Sinfield.
Lee Smith, 19 years of age. He has got an outstanding future at Headingley, according to his coach. And the goal line dropout gets to the halfway line. Mathers is underneath that. Here is Gareth Ellis for the Rhinos, taking on Henderson, taking on Peacock, taking on Fielden. And the tackle is completed. Maguire. And this now is McKenna. McKenna offloads to Mathers. Mathers gets away from Henderson first time, can't get away from him the second time. He's brought down tackle number 2, midway inside the Bradford half of the field. It's with Duneman, finds Sinfield. Duneman gets the return, and Duneman sees a little hole. He's hauled down by Lee Radford. Sinfield, they're going down that channel again with Walker, and Walker tackled by big Leslie Vinacolo.
Oh, nearly lost it there.
Bailey to Ward. That's the last tackle for Leeds. Duneman, they're 10 metres away. Maguire, a stab to the in-goal area, picked up by Justin Harris, and Harris will begin the counter.
Great play by Leeds, full of confidence, but well spotted by the standoff, Justin Harris.
And perhaps one of the biggest differences between these two seasons is the speed. Really, Bradford probably don't have many players who've got the ability to go the length of the field. Harpy and Vinacolo are perhaps the exceptions to that rule. The Leeds side can score tries from anywhere in the field. So Bradford really, as Steve said, they need field position. They need to get up close to Leeds' try line to have any chance of registering points.
Great set of 6 defensively though from the Rhinos. That's a lovely little kick through by Deacon. Oh, it's bouncing everywhere, and Gareth Ellis is the man who takes control of the situation.
Oh, too many cooks spoiling the broth there. You take it, I take it. Good job that Ellis was very alert. Talking about the second rower today, Gareth Ellis, he'll want a big game. He'll want to prove to the Great Britain coach, Brian Noble, he wants to take Sculthorpe's position, because I think he'll go for Sinfield at standoff.
This now is Duneman again for the Leeds Rhinos. Good jinking run, and it's halted by the number 16 Paul Johnson, back in the side for the last 6 matches. Some familiar names returning for Bradford. Maguire! Brilliant feat from Maguire! Withers wouldn't be fooled. He got the ball away though to Duneman, and Duneman, that's a mile forward. Oh, that's forward to Walker.
Try-saving tackle there by Shantaine Harpy, but is it going to be enough? Oh, against time! Oh, he's got him.
It's an offside decision against Bradford, but the pass out wide drifted forward for mine.
Well, there's obviously momentum involved in that pass, but it looked a bit dodgy.
We don't care. Play on.
It was a wonderful effort, though. Missed out about 5 players.
Leeds are running this penalty, and here is Diskin, and Diskin looking to pinch a try, driving to the line if he gets it down. He can't though. Fielden sees to that. He was underneath him. Here is Duneman. Match being played with intensity from the start. Maguire again. Got the ball away, and it went backwards. Gareth Ellis tackle on number 3. Maguire looks full of it tonight. Mathers, little dummy, couldn't fool the defence. In they come in numbers.
Good control defence as well from Bradford. They're going as a unit. No one's coming out. 1-1 out of that line. They're solid. They're waiting to see what's happening.
Ellis kept hold of it. He shaped to pass it to Duneman. That's the last one. Bradford will take great heart from this if he can keep them out. It's with Sinfield. A kick wide looking for Lee Smith. Finds it, and Smith is in!
Super stuff. Super Smith.
He stepped away from the challenge of Leslie Vinacolo as if he wasn't there. And Lee Smith over in the corner. The man filling the boots of the leading try scorer in Super League, Mark Calderwood. What a start for Lee Smith.
And what a kick. Superb stuff. This is the pass. Now there's no momentum rule there. He's barely gone forward. I think he's all right. It just looked a bit dodgy. And what about the kick? He took the gamble, did Leslie, and young Smith scores a sensational try. Look at that. Leslie Vinacolo was not interested in the football. He went for the man. That is a big error. You've got to keep your eyes on the ball. I think the big fella against Smith, he could have just blasted him out of the ocean and taken that ball, but he didn't. He went for the man instead. Paid the price. Good play from this young kid.
19 years of age, his 4th try of the season for Lee Smith. He'll remember that for a long, long time to come. Now then, Kevin Sinfield, not terribly hot with the boot last week. A try and 7 goals against the Bulls at Odsal in March, and he has missed with his first kick at goal tonight. Leeds 4, Bradford 0. There is a plethora of possible man of the match contenders out here tonight. Dave Hadfield, you've got a job on your hands.
Yes, Tony Smith stressed the importance of players maintaining the form before the cup final. Keith Senior and Danny Maguire were outstanding, both of them last week. And what about that start from young Lee Smith? He'll be starting to sense there's a chance of at least playing his way onto the bench for Cardiff. It's no coincidence that the Bulls' resurgence has come with the return of Leslie Vinacolo and Shantae Happy, even though Vinacolo's had a bad start to this game. And there's so much more strike power with those two in the side. And what about Jamie Peacock's position? Will he be a Bradford or a Leeds player by the time these clubs meet again?
Thanks, Dave. You probably saw while Dave Hadfield was talking, Paul Deacon sailed the kick-off out on the full. So that means it's a penalty to Leeds on halfway. The pressure keeps on coming and coming.
Well, it certainly does, because Bradford, they haven't been in the Leeds half yet. No possession, no position. Ooh, he nearly lost it. Bailey did well. Just hung on to it at the very last moment.
Diskin to Duneman, Duneman to Sinfield, and Sinfield attacking down that right-hand channel again. The area that they pinpointed in the grand final at Old Trafford last October.
Eddie, even in the first side of the first 10 minutes, the ball movement and width with which Leeds are playing really is draining the energy from the Bradford Bulls.
3 tackles gone this set of 6. Here is Maguire, now it's with Gareth Ellis. And Ellis stands and gets the ball away to Maguire, but Radford all over him, and they lost a little bit of ground there. Ellis 20 metres away at dummy half to Mathers, to Bailey.
Here's another kick, and I'm sure Leslie's expecting it.
Diskin, Duneman to Sinfield, they're running it, and that's going to be 6 to go. It was off Brad Myers, 6 to go.
Well, if you're going to go commit yourself, you've got to make sure you get the ball. Don't just get the hand out lazily.
Intense pressure from Leeds with Mathers. And Mathers stands and gets the ball away to Maguire, who finds Bye and Senior gets it away to Marcus Bye, and the Papua New Guinea international drives it forward again.
Surely they'll breach them.
What a start for Leeds this is. Ellis to Duneman. And here's Sinfield, back to Duneman. Now they'll come this way with Chris McKenna. Backhanded pass to Sinfield. And
this is outstanding rugby league football from Leeds.
Diskin attacking the line. Here is Mathers. Big hit by Ben Harris.
Had to be as well. Didn't half check him out. Fullback
so close to the line. A stab to the in-goal area, and at last Bradford can breathe a sigh of relief. 10 minutes of intense Leeds Rhinos pressure on the Bradford Bulls line. What a start for them, Ian Millwall.
I tell you, at the start, wouldn't be happy with Brian Noble. They've had 2 kicks, clearing kicks, Eddie, and they haven't got inside the opposition 40. Be extremely disappointed with that. The 2 kicks by Singfield, he's got a repeat set and he's got a try. That's an area, if you want to compete against the best skilled team in Super League, get them down that end of the park, and they're not doing that, Bradford.
This is Fielden. That's the 3rd tackle for them. They will get over halfway now with Henderson.
He's brought a new dimension to this Bradford outfit. Took him a while, Henderson, to settle into the style, but he's certainly got the quality now.
That was Harris to Harris, just into Ben. Ben going nowhere because Gareth Ellis and Danny Maguire are there. Here's the last tackle. Harris will hoist the kick wide, and it'll drift forward on the wing. Well played though by Lee Smith.
And you've got to pride the coach, Tony Smith, in as much. Remember, I made the point early in the fact they kicked deliberately so that the young kid could get involved in the game. He's the star at the moment, Phil Clark.
He certainly is, isn't he? I think Bradford, though, when they get the breath back, if they can in a minute or two, will take a lot of credit and a lot of positivity out of the opening stages. We said they had to improve the defence. They've certainly done that, because Leeds, the way they've kept the ball alive and the way they've tested the Bulls really has been impressive. But other than the kick and the try, Bradford have withstood that.
They have so far, but here come Leeds again in the shape of Duneman. Harpy got to him, and with help from Brad Myers, Duneman's brought down. Last tackle deep in Leeds territory, and Sinfield with the kick down the middle, and Leon Price will pick it up, and Price will start the counter-attack for Bradford, but he gets as far as Duneman. Peacock now hit the ball at pace.
Well, that's what we expected. The opening stanza is the forwards really taking it to Leeds, and this is really the first opportunity. Interference from Diskin.
Penalty to Bradford. Must have been a call from the touchdown. This.
For security as well, Paul, mate.
Well, I think he just lost it. He was absolutely horrified, was Matt Diskin.
Come on, let's go.
And Paul Deacon has just lost control of it. Well, things like that can just change
And the line, guys.
complexion of the game.
Straight from that ball, yeah.
The first time, really, that Bradford have threatened the Leeds line. They're with Deacon, who finds Yestin Harris. Oh, there's a hole open up for Harris. Well, that's what he did so often in the blue and amber colours of the Leeds Rhinos. Here is Henderson again. Back it comes to the captain, Jamie Peacock. Peacock bounces off one would-be tackler. Marcus Pye, Mathers and Ward get to him on the second occasion. Ian Henderson waits the dummy half for Bradford. Bradford with Harris, and Ben Harris takes over, and Ben Harris will play it to Yestin Harris. It'll come to Michael Withers. Withers then to Paul Deacon, and Deacon just delayed the pass fatally, and Sinfield came in for the tackle. Fielden to Withers, Withers to Myers. Good Leeds defence on show now.
Certainly was. Leading the way yet again is Andrew Duneman.
Not the best
Shocker.
pass from Radford to Deacon. And
Get away with it.
They have got away with it. To Ben Harris. Harris with a kick to the in-goal area. Marcus Pye with work to do. Oh!
That was dodgy.
It was very dodgy. He flicked the ball in field, and it bounced over the dead ball line. He was looking for Mathers, look.
He didn't need to. Knew that he was going to get smashed if Mathers had picked up the ball there. But
Bradford get a repeat set.
They do, but maybe they wish they were going back here now, having scored a try. The difference between Leeds and many of their opponents this season is that when they make a break, they convert it into points. They've got some of the best support players in the whole competition. Yestin Harris, when he was through that gap, needed support either side of him. The Bradford players couldn't get to him, and it's a momentary maybe relief, and possession back to Bradford, but they wish they'd have the 6 points on the board, I'm sure, Eddie.
Yestin Harris to Peacock, will drive it in straight at Diskin. Good defence though from those three, Bailey and Diskin and McKenna. Henderson got the ball away. There was no way through though for Stuart Fielden.
throwing in the big guns, aren't they? Fielden, Peacock.
This is Henderson, and poor pass. That's been a feature of the opening quarter hour. Some poor passing from Bradford, not as incisive as Leeds.
Well, you need it better from your hooker. He's there to control things. Did the right thing, run away from the dummy half, but just didn't get the pass away.
Leeds, they get the bullet passes in, don't they? Bradford, it's been a bit loopy.
I think mainly due to the fact that it's been very rare that they've been in loopy. Anyway, very rare that they've had any chance, but full credit to Leeds. Remember, Harris Houston made that break. They got back in numbers. They're fit, Leeds.
Eddie, I think it's a byproduct a little bit. They had to recover from sustained defending up that end of the park, and then on the other thing, they then had to build some pressure to try and get some points. I think at the moment, they've done extremely well, Bradford, to hold them out. Return sort of Leeds, they've done extremely well. I think at the moment, Bradford need to build up some field position and momentum with some ball control. At the moment, Leeds look very skillful at the moment. Just got to hang in with them here at the moment.
McKenna plays the ball to Diskin, who gives it to Duneman. The kick downfield finds Michael Withers on the bounce. Oh, Withers has seen a gap, and he's gone for it himself. He's got Mathers ahead of him, no support.
Oh, that was poor. Brian Noble will be furious. Michael Withers just danced his way through the attack, the defence should I say. No one within cooey of him.
Henderson to Paul Johnson. And Michael Withers is in a bit of trouble, I think, in back play here as we watch Deacon give it to Myers, and Myers gets a high one from Danny Ward.
Ward had a little bit of a grin and said it wasn't all that bad. You tried telling that to the second rower, Brad Myers. But what a great run from Michael Withers. Look, they're all standing around. There was only Deacon anywhere near that he could offload there. That's two opportunities.
Well, they're taking the tap penalty. Here is Fielden, and Bradford now are just a metre or so from the line, and Fielden takes the tackle. Here is Paul Deacon. Now it's with Peacock. Peacock trundling forward, but all wrapped up by the Leeds defenders.
Good work from Mathers there. He knew the inside pass was on.
Henderson. Poor ball again. Harris. Easton Harris, that is. Now Paul Deacon. No way
He's
through.
lost it. It was a big hit. He was going down. Ellis didn't miss him either. And he'll be a bit dazed from this. The half-back Paul Deacon.
Steve, the urgency there from the Leeds defenders. As soon as Deacon took the ball up, they shot at him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Surrounded by three sides, no wonder he lost possession.
Well, he certainly went for the head, but this fellow was going down into the tackle. No way that the official was going to give a penalty for that.
Phil, I'm extremely disappointed. Normally get that situation, you say to me as a coach, what would you do in that situation? Would you go for the two? Would you kick it out? I'll tell you what the viewers got to remember at home. The tempo of this game is very fast. I'm looking at people off the ball. Both teams are struggling with the momentum of the game at the moment, and that's a real positive thing that Bradford said, hey, listen, Leeds, we think you're struggling as much as us. Let's go for the six. Positive reaction.
Leeds have won 6 of the last 7 against the Bulls, including that grand final last year. In fact, it's just 10 wins against the Bulls, though, from 31 in Super League over the past 10 years. So it's quite a record that Bradford have, but not recently.
I must say that the Bradford defence is pretty solid, though. They're hanging back.
Duneman's kick into the arms of Michael Withers. Having treatment a moment or two ago, gets it away to Lee Radford, who finds Leon Price. And Leon Price trying to bust him up the middle. Ryan Bailey gets to him. Quick play the ball. Here comes Paul Johnson. Well, 19 minutes gone. It's flown past. Played at such pace. Bradford again. To halfway for Bradford.
Two of the top sides in Super League, and they really are serving up a treat. It's tough out there as well.
And this is Jamie Langley.
Some of the defence in. Oh, bone crunching. I love it.
Peacock. Still Peacock. Couldn't get the ball away. 3 around him. Last tackle. 11, 12 metres inside the Bradford half. Easton Harris. Paul Deacon. Up it goes again. The high hanging kick. Leslie's after it. Lee Smith can hear him. Brilliantly taken, and a penalty. He was airborne when Leslie Vinacolo hit him.
Well, that's one thing that Leeds don't want. Silly Richard Mathers came in, grabbed hold of it. Peacock says, I'm having a piece of you. Fielden got involved. See Peacock trying to just calm things down. No doubt about the penalty, but Richard Mathers. Now, Tony Smith doesn't want this.
Let's go.
It was only a split second. The officials got it right. And what positioning by Ashley Klein. It is just an inch. But he was in the correct position.
Stay away.
He got steamrolled.
Firstly,
Why on earth did Mathers come in?
Steve Owen probably trying to defend his player, and the Bradford players are trying to dominate Smith. What you've got to realise and remember, of course, the viewers at home would recognise intimidation and fear is still an important part of rugby league. And if you can intimidate your opponent, you can put him off. He might be quicker than you, he might be stronger than you, he might be more skillful, but intimidation at times wins games in rugby league.
It certainly does, but when you've received a penalty, you don't want to just throw it away. This has really fired up the Bradford side now. They may have been stunned by the onslaught from the Rhinos.
Come on, let's control that aggression, right?
But this is going to get tasty, even more than what we've seen already.
Here's
Come on,
Jamie
boys.
Jones-Buchanan for Leeds.
Come on, Paul.
He's missed the last 4 as well. Wanted to play tonight to try and cement a place next week. Gareth Ellis. Good tackling by Johnson. Maguire, the dummy half, senior. Couldn't get around Harris. And good tackling by Ben Harris on Danny Maguire, but another penalty.
Well, they're losing the plot slightly. You can see there they've done all the hard work. And they just throw it away. Ben Harris had done all the work. Bradford came in, give away the penalty.
Well, hang on. There is a big red light just appeared. It's getting rough and tough, and Big Barry's on. And he gets the first run, and he takes it at Peacock.
Release! Come on, Jamie!
Here is Diskin.
Great work from the hooker. Bradford very slow to get themselves sorted out.
Duneman. And he lost his footing then, but still got the ball away to Duneman again.
He's got the ball as Peacock.
I think Peacock has been outstanding for Bradford in the opening quarter. In fact, he gets back to taking that first run when everyone else is catching the breath. He's there at mark for saving that try from Diskin. And a one-on-one steal there, Steve-O. Outstanding.
Unbelievable. This is going to be a big game. This is going to be a huge test for Ashley Klein. This is probably the roughest and the toughest that he's had to take charge of.
And one of the quickest and most intense.
Well, we've seen his ability, the whistleblower, already to get himself into a good position. And in a game like this, you need it. That's better. It's found the ground.
And it will trickle, yes, trickle dead. But if Ashley Klein has ambitions to be the top whistleblower in the Super League, this is a night when he really will have to stand up and be counted.
In fact, to be quite truthful, I thought he had a good chance for the Challenge Cup final.
That's gone to Steve Ganson in case you've missed the news. And that was field entangling with his old mate Barry Mack.
All the way, mate.
Here's Diskin.
Getting in confidence week in, week out, this fella, since he came back from injury.
McKenna for Leeds. And Deacon did well to hang on to him, but he still got the ball away to Sinfield, who finds Danny Maguire. And Maguire is wrapped up by Harris.
Again, the support from the Rhinos is nothing short of superb.
Duneman. Here is Mathers, trying to step his way around Peacock. He wouldn't be fooled, the Bradford captain.
Will Vinacolo get this one?
It's with Maguire. Yes, he will. Well, that's a penalty the other way, yes. Chev Walker.
Certainly took him. And as soon as he made contact, and again, great positioning by the very whistleblower. Big smile on his face. Love to see rugby league players, just enjoy this wonderful game of ours.
Eddie, if you cast your mind back the last time we were here at Headingley just a week ago, 25 minutes into the game, Leeds were actually a bit behind by 8 points to 12, but they'd had so much field position, so much possession, they'd moved the ball around, and it paid as the game went on. One suspects that's going to be the same, because they're clearly dominating their opponents at present.
Here's Yestin Harris, though, for Bradford. Oh, that's a...
Could have been a Shepherd, you're right. That's back to 6, he's got it.
Yes, Maguire's got it, he's lost it.
Oh, he has. Play on.
Well, Danny Maguire has got a problem because he had He was holding his shoulder a few moments ago, and he's doing the same again here. And Maguire is in a little bit of a crisis for himself. It's Harris. And this now is Andy Lynch. Problem for Maguire. Justin Harris. Lynch. Flick pass, and Harris picks it up off his toes.
Again, not good support from the Bradford players. When they are offloading, they're standing still.
Watch the Deacon kick here, Steve-O.
Deacon has it. It's a pass to Shontaine Harpy. Here's Leslie Vainicolo. Oh, great tackle.
Beautiful stuff.
And Harpy looking for the try. He's got it down. Shontaine Harpy gets the try that levels the match. I think they thought they had finished him off. Leslie Vainicolo, and Maguire in all sorts of trouble. They had finished Leslie Vainicolo off, but the big fella got up and played the ball so quickly to Harpy, and Harpy gets the ball down.
Well, they tested their arm. You can see there, Chev Walker came right out of the one line of defence. It was sufficient for Shontaine Harpy to gain momentum, and then he backed up. Watch the arm. Whoa, get the washing out on the line. That was a good long length of an arm, come out of nowhere. Bang. He could have got 3 shirts hanging from that. Great effort. Created the break. Vainicolo got close, and this man, he's back to his best. And Brian Noble said only a couple of weeks ago that some of his injured stars, when they get back, they were going to mean business.
And Deacon means business with the boot. We are watching the 2 best goal kickers in the Super League tonight. Okay, Sinfield missed with his first kick, but Shontaine Harpy's try has just been improved by a magnificent kick from Paul Deacon. Running repairs for Kevin Sinfield, who's got blood on the jersey. Danny Maguire is still out there.
I make that point yet again. That silly fracas that erupted, all because Mathers just pulled the man off after the penalty was given, stirred up the hornet's nest.
Sinfield hammers the ball long into Bradford territory. Leon Price underneath it. Here's big Joe Vangenaar. Oh, he nearly took Chris McKenna over the stand. Henderson and Lynch. Lynch ever present in his debut season for the Bulls. Castleford last year as they were relegated. Such a change in fortunes for that young man. Here's Deacon. He's gone for a 40-20 here. Mathers is after it, and Mathers claims it.
There are times, Eddie, when I wish this game just went on for 4 hours. It's just wonderful.
I think Hull would be wishing it went on for 4 hours.
Well, I saw John Keane earlier, and I know one thing. Oh, that's a problem for Senior. That is a problem. Well, Danny Maguire, and look at that. Oh. Joe Vangenaar says, come to Daddy, and he is in all sorts of strife. Let's hope that it is just a strain, but he is in a lot of pain, this fella.
Well, Tony Smith has fielded a full-strength side a week ahead of the Challenge Cup final. And when you look at this, he had to go for the tackle again, did Vangenaar.
Went underneath him, did the leg.
Never mind the Challenge Cup final. Great Britain Hearts will be missing a beat as well.
Look at that, but watch the leg double under. Oh, that. You would think, as it went right under, if there was going to be any damage, it would be in the knee ligaments or the cartilage area, but it seems lower down. Oh, let's hope it's not a break. That would be an absolute disaster. I'll be keeping my fingers crossed. Last thing you want to see in our game is a wonderful rugby league start having to be carted from the field of play.
I think it's a good time to reflect now, Steve-O, on why the momentum of the game's changed just recently. I think Brian Noble's made 2 fantastic changes. He took both his front rowers off, Peacock and Fielden, and he's brought on Lynch and Vagana. And I'll tell you what, their go-forward's been exceptional, and they've had a real presence. He's been able to up the ante. And on top of that, we talked about in the prelude, that left-hand side, Shontaine Harvey and Leslie Vainikolo, the amount of tries they scored last year, 63 between them, and now that's why they're the biggest threat in Super League. I think Brian needs to be complimented. The way he's come out with this front row at the moment, and they're taking a bit of wear and tear out of Leeds.
Well, there is a stretcher been called for Keith Senior. They've got Danny Maguire off and holding what is an obvious shoulder problem. And bearing in mind what's to come, and of course there's only a few weeks left in the qualifying period for the Super League. This is where Maguire got the injury under challenge from Ben Harris.
Yeah, got twisted over.
And here's Senior now.
Look at that leg, and it twisted, the ankle twisted. Oh, that is an awful sight. I think Keith Senior knows that he's in a lot of trouble.
Well, they are taking a long time to sort Keith Senior out, and I think that's an indication, Phil, this is a severe problem.
I think quite obviously that's the case. I think that the Leeds coaching staff, as well as being concerned for Keith Senior, will be wondering just now how they're going to readjust. Having lost Maguire, they had Rob Burrow. We see the incident again there as he bounces back, the pain etched on his face immediately. But they've brought Rob Burrow on to replace Danny Maguire. I suspect, Ian, will they put McKenna wide out into the centres and look to use Lower TT perhaps in the second row, or Jones Buchanan in the second row then?
Well, McKenna's played for Australia only a couple of years ago in the centre, so he's an obvious choice. There he is. Ali Latuti's only fresh in the game. He's the biggest threat now for Bradford. So, you know, they do have a fresh strike force coming onto the field here at the moment. But I think long-term, you know, it causes problems, especially with Willie poaching out with a broken jaw at the moment. He'd be the obvious to come in the back row and McKenna out, but he's not here tonight.
Also throw into the mix that Gareth Ellis has played a few times in the centres in his career for Wakefield Trinity Wildcats.
Yeah, but I think they're ready. The reason why he's playing so outstanding is he's not locked into a left side or a right side. He can move around the park, has great athleticism, and he can offload the ball and great footwork either foot, and that's what you need to maintain and not lock him into a side.
You might have just got a quick glimpse there of Willie poaching out on the field. He apparently will see a couple of specialists next week and the decision will be taken. But Keith Senior will leave the stage here on a stretcher. And I think he knows it's a serious injury. He knew at the moment that Van Ganar went for him. Well, as we see Keith Senior go off, let's remind ourselves of the two tries we've seen. Great start for Leeds and young Lee Smith. Twinkle toes in the corner, and then Shontaine Harpy, after a quick play the ball by Leslie Vainikolo just a few minutes ago. The goal line conversion from Deacon means Bradford have a 2-point advantage as Keith Senior leads the field.
Ian, do you think that long breaking play while Keith Senior left the field actually suits Bradford because of the amount of work they had to do early on in the game?
It'll suit Bradford because they had momentum, but I'll tell you what the other thing is, it'll get the mind thinking for the Leeds.
Barry McDermott drossed that.
Well, he lost it.
Absolutely dropped it.
Well, he lost it, and everybody saw it apart from the guy that has a flag in his hand. Now, the referee, Ashley Klein, not only looked once, twice, but 3 times, nearly put the whistle to his mouth, and for some unknown reason, the judge just said, oh, it's okay.
That's a great kick from Burrow, but well fielded by Michael Withers. Good tackle.
Tremendous stuff, this fella, isn't he, Michael Withers?
This is Langley.
This is amazing ability. As we've got quite a few fullbacks in Super League that can do that. Just seem to just saunter past the would-be tacklers.
Leon Price for Bradford. Leeds just reeling a little bit like a boxer on the ropes at the moment. Couple of cruel blows for them injury-wise. Oh, Bradford, though, it's a loose ball. Robbie Paul does well.
Offside.
I was going to say he does well, but he didn't. He didn't hold on to the ball.
Well, he lost it. The Bradford player was in front of him.
Couldn't pick it up, and that's why Leeds have got the ball back.
Yeah, but it's not an advantage if he's offside. It should have been a penalty, and Leeds should have been another 40 metres downfield.
Never touched it, Steve. He went for it and then left it alone.
I'm not so sure.
Duneman to Jamie Jones Buchanan. Burrow bounces off Deacon.
south stand. They're getting agitated. Two of their major stars have... That's forward.
Vainicolo has it for Bradford. Leeds are suddenly disjointed by these two injuries to Maguire and Senior, two key players.
Oh, two of the best in the world. It is a big ask now, and I'm sure that Tony Smith is fully aware that we often talk about the strength and depth of the top sides. They've got to show it now. They've just got to get themselves to half-time. That is important. Regroup. Let their coach come out with the words of wisdom, just shift them into different positions. You talk about that, the man that's made the break, the tackle there, Andrew Duneman, wouldn't surprise me if he puts him in the centres. He's very solid in defence.
Good hit by Barry McDermott on Paul Deacon. That's Langley, this is Shontaine Harpy. That's the last tackle for Bradford. There's Leslie Vainicolo, it comes in field to Deacon. Deacon then to Iestyn Harris. And Harris finds Leon Price. It's opened up for Leon Price. He's got Radford with him. He has Andy Lynch with him. And Lynch will score under the sticks for the Bradford Bulls. Andy Lynch for Bradford. And the game has suddenly turned on its head for Leeds. Price with the break, Lynch with the support, and the England international over under the sticks.
I was just about to say, it looked as though he'd blown it. Harris put him through a beautiful gap here, and you can see he didn't look for Johnson. They went far too high. Not the best from Richard Mathers, but Lynch, he's supported all right. This is a beautiful pass from Harris. See how he just sucked in Sinfield. Ellis was just far out wide. On the step, Mathers far too high. And at last, there is support. And they are jubilant.
So Deacon to try and add the extras. He kicked a beauty off the touchline. This is bang in front. Should be 2 from 2. Should be 12-4 for Bradford. And it is. Leeds 4, Bradford 12 here at Headingley. The champions reeling. 2 injury blows to Maguire and Senior, and 2 tries conceded now, the latest from Andy Lynch. A significant night for Leeds, Phil, for all the wrong reasons so far.
I think that's right, isn't it? I don't think we've seen them under this sort of pressure for quite a while, and I think the response to it, though, we've still got a while to go in this game, and they've got some experienced, classy players who, you know, their memory bank's full of wins and successes, so I don't think they'll panic at this stage, but they're really rocked, aren't they, with the way that Bradford have responded. I think it's a real testimony to their character. I suppose their success over the last few years is the reason why they still have some self-confidence, even though many others have doubted them.
Yes, this could be the real start of another Bradford Bulls assault on Old Trafford in the grand final in the middle of October. They've been there the last 4 years. Everyone's tipping Leeds and St Helens, and why not, the way it's gone so far this year. But Bradford the stalking horse now.
Certainly are, and they know how to get to the grand final. They've been there 4 times already on the trot. I must say, that pass from Iestyn Harris was nothing short of super.
This is Shontaine Harpy. Last tackle.
Such an important player as well for Bradford. We've already mentioned the combination with his outside winger, Leslie Vainicolo. And the kicking game has become a lot better, more assured, making sure it's not right down the throat.
Marcus Bai drove that straight back at Iestyn Harris. Here is Lee Smith. And he's halted by Vangenaar. Lays the ball to Richie Mathers. Danny Ward for the Rhinos. Great offload. Lauatiti finds Marcus Bai. Almost gets away from Harris. Ball comes into Lauatiti. Giant of a man. Flicks it back to Burrow. Burrow. Deacon collars him. Eventually, with a little bit of help from Langley. Duneman. McKenna. Lee Smith. Great ball.
Oh, what an effort from the youngster.
Oh, what a great ball to Duneman.
He started it with the offload. It was a superb delayed pass.
Mesmerising stuff from Leeds. What a shame. Oh, and he's got them for a penalty. Bradford out wide.
Richie Mather was taken out when he was late, supporting Smith, I think, on the inside as it all went through, Eddie.
Good refereeing by Ashley Klein. Allowed the advantage just in case Leeds got over for the try.
Lee Smith passed the ball. You've actually come in and tackled him
Went
late.
in right over the top. But Duneman started it, then went looking for the offload, and he got it.
So here come Leeds, looking to respond in a positive manner with McKenna, Banganar and Lynch, Tony Smith. Looks a little bit grim of face, and why wouldn't he be? Whoa, Big Barry went without it.
It's a big miss, and he knows it, Barry. That was the one opportunity that they could have gone into the sheds with a bit of a bonus. It was a good build-up.
Well, we have some injury news coming in from Bill. It's probably the biggest news of the season for Leeds, Bill.
It's early days yet, Eddie, and Leeds been quite cagey about the extent of the injury to Keith Senior, but it does seem as though it's a badly twisted ankle. He's being examined by the doctor at the moment. Badly twisted ankle is bad enough, but it did look for a moment a lot worse than that. Meanwhile, Danny Maguire is still on the bench. He's got ice on his left shoulder. Haven't ruled out the prospect that he'll come back, but really with what's ahead of them, it's very unlikely that they'd want to risk him.
Lee Smith, good driving run forward.
That was a heavy tackle from Johnson. Got him on the chest. Felt the impact. Now with Ian Millwood, you know, the way that Brian Noble has brought on the heavy guns, can really just give it to him. There's some cruel defence out there. It is rough and tough.
Here's Duneman for Leeds. Marcus by carries it forward. Duneman again. Lauatiti got the ball away. How on earth did he get that out wide to Gareth Ellis?
For one moment then, I thought he just lost control of it, but it was a direct pass.
Ball bounced kindly for Michael Withers. The Bradford full-back will run it upfield, and John Keir on commentary duty tonight, the Hull coach. I bet he is rubbing his hands at the thought of Leeds without Maguire and Senior next week.
Well, in a professional mode, yes.
Yes, absolutely, that's what I mean.
As a man, he would hope that both of them were not injured.
He would be happy if they were missing next week.
Yes, in his capacity as the Hull coach, yes.
Oh, great break from Sinfield! Sinfield will go over under the sticks for the Rhinos.
They needed that bonus, and their skipper has provided.
The referee hasn't given it yet. He wants to see how the ball came loose. But Sinfield didn't hang around to debate it. He was through them.
Yes, Steve?
Well, that was pulled out, but it doesn't matter. Now that he's got to deem that Lauatiti is in front of Ward. Now, if Ward has pulled it out deliberately, then Lauatiti is in an offside position. So he has to decide now, the video referee, has Ward deliberately gone for the ball? He certainly had the hands in and then peeled away. I think they might get the benefit of the doubt. I think Sinfield's try will stand because Ward just falls off the tackle. The ball doesn't automatically come out with him at the same time, and I am going to go for TRY.
You're right, and Leeds, in the shape of their captain Kevin Sinfield, get themselves back into the match.
It's amazing, Eddie, isn't it, how often champions do that? They score just before half-time and just after it. Leeds did it last week against London. Looks as though it may be on again here, Steve-O.
Well, you've got to make sure that you hold on to possession. It was a dodgy one for the video referee, but that was a superb little dummy. And Justin Harris and Peacock are having a right old go at each other, saying, you should have got him. You should have got him. Bit too late now, fellas. This is the incident. He obviously goes for the ball, but because he comes away late, I think it's convinced the video referee. Fully deserved this. That lovely shimmy and dummy. Can he make it 6?
Yes, he can. Kevin Sinfield adds the extras to his own try. Bradford had stopped and waited for the offside whistle that never came. Leeds 10, Bradford 12 at Headingley. Kevin Sinfield trying to rally his troops. And we've just seen the first try at Headingley for 15 months from the Leeds captain. Deacon restarts, making sure it doesn't go too deep this time. Here's Ali Lawatiti. What a weapon to bring off the bench this fellow is.
Well, we saw a few moments ago that pass. I thought he'd lost it, but he was trying to get it round somebody's ankle, not his knee, the ankle.
Hey there, Barry.
Quality.
Andy, that's clear. Andy, back off.
Duneman wide, Salford leading against Wakefield. Here is Marcus Bly. There's the half-time siren. A wonderful first half at Headingley. Leeds with backs to the wall, losing Maguire and losing Keith Senior to injury, trailing 12-4. Then up to the plate steps Kevin Sinfield, and it's 12-10 at half-time. There was a crisis here for Leeds at this stage, but they've weathered the storm, I think. Maguire might miss the Challenge Cup final of 2005.
And the amazing thing is, we just saw a glimpse there of Kevin Sinfield. He was also left out of the final, remember, up at Merrifield up in Scotland.
Indeed so. But it's all about qualification for the biggest prize in the game, the grand final at Old Trafford on October the 15th. And Bradford, they have suddenly got the sniff of something. After a season of trauma, of transition and change, Bradford are mounting a serious challenge.
Well, they'll be very pleased. Bradford side, the coach Brian Noble is with their effort. They really have crunched it.
Not standing square, Bradford, early penalty to Leeds.
Well, I was just about to say that they would have been quite happy to kick off. They could force Leeds way down into their own quarter, and then they've given away a silly penalty, and you can see now it has turned around.
Yes, Leeds now over the halfway with Danny Ward. 10 metres inside the Bradford half now as he plays the ball to Duneman. Here's big Barry McDermott. Our guest on Boots and All on Wednesday night, and a hugely entertaining programme it was. This now, Jamie Jones Buchanan. Rob Burrow, scampering little run, finds Danny Ward. They nearly dropped off him, but Lynch and Robbie Paul do the business. Here is Sinfield. Now it's Lawatiti. Gets the ball away.
Knocked on.
And Gareth Ellis couldn't hang on.
So obviously the Tony Smith, the Leeds coach, has said that we will punch down on the right-hand side on this Bradford's defence. Good work from Euston Harris. Made sure he got right into the face there of Ellis.
Steve, what about you? But Bradford's defence, I know they've conceded 10 points, really has been impressive in that first half. Perhaps the best they've defended all season. I mean, particularly in the two games that they've played against the Leeds Rhinos, they've conceded, as we said, 13 tries. They have improved vastly here tonight. So few missed tackles.
Well, they had to as well. Midway through the season, there was one point where it looked as though they'd never played with each other. The coordination was missing. And for a couple of games there, I thought maybe the team spirit was just also going out to the window. But they always have a sniff when it comes down to the business end, don't they? They know. Old Trafford beckons.
Here's Euston Harris. As he flicks the ball to Andy Lynch. Let's get down to Bill. News of those Leeds injuries. Bill.
It's a badly sprained ankle for Keith Senior, so nowhere near as serious as was first fears. It's still not good. It's going to take some work to get him fit for next Saturday in Cardiff. But for a while down here on the sidelines, they thought it was a lot more serious than that. And Keith Senior's out on the sidelines now. The ankle heavily strapped, but he's in pretty good spirits, all things considered. And the medical staff have been speaking to know they've got their work cut out to get him fit in time for the next big game. And Danny Maguire has a similar sort of problem. He's just coming out of the dressing rooms as well. It's the left shoulder. He's just sprained that ever so slightly. Whether he'll be risked again tonight is debatable.
So Leeds might have to do it tough in this second half. This is Sinfield on halfway.
It's a big
He is out there, there's hope.
big ask for the substitute Rob Berra. This is where he really has to come to the fore. He knows he's got a good compatriot in Andrew Duneman, who's having a wow of a game.
Here is Burrow. He sees gaps that no one else can see. Such a low centre of gravity for little Rob Burrow.
Well, there's always a gap 6 inches from the ground.
Infield with a high hanging kick. Well claimed though by Michael Withers. Withers goes to ground. And here goes Leon Price.
Quicker to play the ball there. Just poached 3 or 4 yards, but look at the intensity. Both defences tonight. Oh, it's a toughie.
Vainicolo gets the ball away. And Leslie Vainicolo, of course, who has signed a new contract this year to extend his stay at Odsal. He is definitely there next year. Joe Vangenaar on the last tackle will play the ball to Robbie Paul, who'll find Deacon, and Deacon just clips the ball downfield, and that will skip away from Marcus Bai. It won't go dead though, and Bai will bring it back. He'll find Mathers, his fullback. Johnson gets in with the first hit.
One thing you can say about Paul Johnson, it's very, very solid. Doesn't appear to have as much going around him in body weight.
Duneman, Gareth Ellis. Great ball, Lee Smith. Flicks, Barry McDermott knocks on.
Well, that's the second occasion, and it's the pressure that does it. You could see he just took his eyes off the ball. Not much expression from Tony Smith, just a shake of the head. I think at the back of his mind he'll be thinking, I wonder how Maguire and Keith Senior are responding to treatment.
Bradford get possession from the scrum. Here is Easton Harris, and Harris finds Shontaine Harpy. Lee Smith gets a good tackle in on him. Vainicolo picks up pace. Nearly, well, he did run over the top of Chris McKenna. Withers to Harris to Leon Price. Here's Stuart Fielden. Fielden offloads to Deacon. This is Paul Johnson. They have men on the overlap. Withers cuts inside. Still Withers. Back it goes to Harpy. Mathers with a good tackle. Finished off by Jamie Jones Buchanan. Robbie Paul Deacon. Easton Harris. Wide it goes. Great ball. And Langley for Bradford. Jamie Langley against his father's former club. Dad, John, was with Leeds in the 70s. Jamie Langley with the Bulls in the 21st century, and a great try.
Leeds just run out of numbers. It's Bradford who are keeping this ball alive. Wonderful pass from Easton Harris. Misses out 2 men. He knew he had the pace. Nothing was going to stop him. They're in the mood of the Bulls. They've come here with the intention of getting that 3rd spot. 1 and 2, forget about that, they know it. All came about from the error from Barry McDermott. That's his 2nd of the night, and from mistakes like that, games are just frittered away.
And Barry McDermott is coming off. His coach Tony Smith has withdrawn him from the action for the time being. Meanwhile, Deacon lines up this conversion attempt. Oh, Deacon has found his kicking boots tonight. Top kicker in Super League. And he's looking to head the goal-kicking charts for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. Bradford and Jamie Langley are looking to get to Old Trafford for the 5th year in a row.
All it takes is a snappy pass and over the top of 2 of his fellow players. Langley knew exactly where he was coming from. I have an old friend of mine who has supported the Bradford side when they were Bradford Northern, and now the Bradford Bulls, of course. And he rang me up last week, Eddie, and he said, Justin Harris is finally earning his money. And he is.
And he will be enjoying earning his money on this ground that he graced for so long as the Leeds captain. Justin Harris, he led them to the 1998 Grand Final when they lost to Wigan, of course, the inaugural year. He departed the scene and went to South Wales to rugby union. He's back with a vengeance now. That's a big hit by Danny Ward. Paul Deacon, every bone in his body must be shuddering.
Well, there's not many out there, Eddie, that won't be feeling the same way.
Here's Harris.
Inside.
Kick.
Give 10. Give 10.
The kicking game has
Give 10.
improved. The first 15 minutes, it was shocking from the Bulls.
Lee Smith.
He's had a big game, hasn't he?
He's an exciting 19-year-old, isn't he?
Full of confidence.
Play it.
Duneman. Great ball. Ellis. Leeds aren't done. Don't worry about that.
But that's for sure, the quality that's still got out there. Maybe a little bit of a change in tactics, a little bit more running from Matt Diskin from the play the ball area. Ask a few more questions of this Bradford defence.
Sinfield, Rob Burrow, and Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Last tackle here for Leeds. Diskin waits the dummy half. He finds Kevin Sinfield. Sinfield will dab the ball towards the in-goal area, picked up by Leslie Vinacolo.
Did well to keep in the field of play. The penalty.
It's a penalty, yes.
Burrow thought he was in for a gift for. South Standards don't like it. They don't like the scoreline either. 18-10.
Yeah, local bragging rights are at stake here.
It's always the same, isn't it?
He got away with it, Vinacolo, because he was trying to convince the referee that he couldn't get up quickly to play the ball, and he lost control of it.
Tony Smith remains impassive, doesn't he?
Play on. Backwards.
Fielden to Harpy.
There's not many coaches in Super League that show their emotions.
Play it.
Do they, Ian?
No, I tell you what, the intensity here, you just got to show it because you feel like you're just part of it. And I'll tell you what, the hardest thing for Tony Smith tonight and his players is they're down to 15 players, rotating players, continuing that pressure, because I tell you what, it's just pressure here tonight.
Robbie Paul. Oops. That's the first mistake that we've seen from Jamie Peacock.
Had a little look, he knew that Matt Diskin was getting right underneath the ribcage.
Marcus Bai.
You're right, Eddie, don't worry, this Leeds outfit will not give in. Just had a glance at the hooker.
Here's Diskin, he's found Lauatiti.
Duneman is taking charge out there.
24-0, what a win for Salford on the way. And that really does put the pressure now on the Widnes Vikings on Sunday, who entertain Warrington. Warrington win, Widnes are down. It's with Burrow. And Burrow to Walker.
Who's dropped it.
Didn't Shantae Harpy do well there, though? He saw that Walker was coming in on that back line, back against the slide of the defence, matched him, got in the position and forced the ball out. They're looking now to spring from deep. Just came in there, hit him as the ball hit. Walker forced it out.
Langley, scorer of the latest Bradford try. Ian?
Phil, is that a reflection of the game so far? The amount of drop balls we've seen over after half-time. In the first half, they were impeccable, both teams. Is that the intensity of the game, or is that just a reflection of they're trying to dominate each other and put that finishing touch away with a try?
I think both sides probably spoke about the defensive effort in this second half and the onus really on forcing mistakes from the opponents. At the moment, defence is probably on top of attack, but you know, as the game wears on, we'll see more points.
Leon Price.
But this is Bradford of old. This is 2 seasons ago. Remember, they were just bullies, weren't they? Bounced up to them. That's a neat kick.
It's a great kick from Deacon. Oh, and everyone left it for everybody else. 6 to go. 6 to go for Bradford here. Vinacolo, and they all went for the dummy. Vinacolo just held up short. Deacon. Here's the pass to Harris. Harris trying to chink inside Danny Ward. Robbie Paul. Paul Deacon. Deacon. Paul Deacon for Bradford. An extra set of 6. So important. And Bradford make Leeds pay.
Right, Tony.
I think he's hurt. I think Deacon's hurt in the action of scoring that try. This has been a bruising night for both sides.
It's going to take a great effort from the Rhinos to come back after this. All came about with that real mix-up. Not the best there. All over the shop. Lee Smith went down for it and then they went high. You can't afford to do that when this guy is so close to the ground. That's a great effort. He got crunched by Smith. That's the reason why he's hurt. Nothing untoward, but he's back in top form. A lot of people thought he'd be completely out of the equation to offer his services to Great Britain, but the way he's playing now, does play for the club with the Great Britain coach.
He didn't figure in the Tri-Nations last year. At the moment, he's not in the 40-man squad this year. But
Brian,
Deacon is giving his coach a nudge here.
Brian's made it quite clear, hasn't he?
Oops. Well, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Deacon doesn't normally miss those. 22 points to 10. 2 converted tries.
We put the mocker on you, remember?
Significant kick, wasn't it, really, there now? It just gives a glimmer of hope for Leeds. At 3 scores, it may be too much the way the game's going. But again, mistake really from their inside their own danger zone. Just gifted Bradford an opportunity to score. Bradford are the best side in the league at scoring when they get within 10 metres of their opponent's line. Just got to prevent inviting them down there.
Well, here they come with Peacock. And that's the way it is in Super League between these two. And this season, it's been all Leeds until tonight.
Well, we're getting very close to the final quarter. And that went backwards. That'll be play on. That's good refereeing. And you've got to say to yourself, Tony Smith, if Bradford scored again very early, what do I do? Do I just say, well, I'll concede this, I'll give them the 2 points, we've lost? Do I pull off some of my best players? As Ian Milward has already mentioned, they don't have much on the bench.
You know what, Steve, they've built up a reputation here, been really hard to beat at home. He's got 2 blokes he can't bring back into the fray. They're going to keep going for it because you don't want to finish with bad habits going into a game next week. And I think the size they've got here at the moment, Bradford, there's a lot of wear and tear. I think he can't make too many decisions. He's got to stay there and they've got to fight the battle out.
Harris with a kick that is just flicked up by Lee Smith and lost by Lee Smith. Bradford have it back and 6 to go. Here's Vainicolo. Good tackle from Smith though.
Well, young Lee Smith has been impeccable right up until the last 5 minutes, and sadly...
Harpy!
Yeah.
He's in, I think. Did he ground him?
He did. This is try time, don't worry about that.
To make sure he put that down.
Second try on the way for Shontaine Harpy on the nod of tonight's video referee.
And what quick thinking. This will prove it. This is TRY, don't worry about that. Plonked it right down on the whitewash. And that'll go up with those 3 lovely letters, T-R-Y. But what great thinking by Bradford. Here's confirmation.
Tries given to Shontaine Harpy, that's try number 2. And since he's come back in the side, they've won every time.
Remember, Eddie, they pressurised on the left-hand side as they are into the attack. And they made sure that they put the pressure on. Now, watch the winger Lee Smith. He'd come in to do the tackle and left it wide open. There was no winger at home. And Justin Harris, quick thinking.
Oh, vision and game awareness was fantastic, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
He's got a split second to realise that the Leeds winger's not in position. If we go there with a chance, and Harpy took it.
That's all about experience as well, because he knew Lee Smith that he'd come up with an error. He just wanted to get involved. Lost his marbles, went looking for the defence and left it wide open. They won't come back from this one, I'm afraid.
Deacon, well, this time the miss is excusable because it's out on the touchline, but 26 points to 10. And Tony Smith on his way down to the dugout.
But just on young Lee Smith, how do you learn experience? You learn it in big games, you learn it through errors, you learn it there. He's a young kid. This is probably long-term for Leeds, the best thing that could ever happen to this kid, because he'll be a better person for it and a better player.
He's been impressive, no doubt about that.
Peacock again for Bradford. And Brian Noble is on the verge of his 120th win as the Bradford Bulls coach. He's got a 74% winning ratio. And is it going to take him all the way to the grand final? There is the Rugby Football League's information line number for the grand final, and indeed the Tri-Nations that follows hot on the heels of that. Talking of following hot on the heels, it's Robbie Paul! Robbie Paul for Bradford to win the match, even at this early stage.
Great play by Leon Price. I've often criticised this big fella for sometimes going to sleep in a game, but he didn't on this occasion. He got himself into dummy half, scooped away, made the half break. And the vintage New Zealander, Robbie Paul, was on hand. Couldn't get anywhere near him. He will enjoy that, that's for sure. Price from the dummy half. Look for it, look at the determination. Wow, his house depended on that. And celebration, rightly so. Leeds are taken to the cleaners.
It's a 17-man game, all right. 3 of the 4 Bradford substitutes have now scored tries. Robbie Paul, Andy Lynch, Jamie Langley. There's only one left then to get on the score sheet, and that's Big Joe. Deacon adds the extras this time. 32 points to 10.
If you stay behind, guys.
Robbie Paul leaves the field after his try.
Probably needs a breather. I don't think he's run that fast for a long, long time. Oh.
Well, Brian Noble will point out that when they have not finished on top of the table, the Bulls have always had the ability to go to the league leaders and win in a grand final qualifier. They did it here last year. I think they did it to Saints one year, Ian, when you were there.
Yeah, I think
they have the pedigree to go all the way.
Yeah, and the pedigree is they usually have a very, very tough, formidable pack that really come grinding at you. He's got them all back on fire. He's got them all back on field and they're fit. And that's why Deacon's looking so strong and run the ball, because they're giving him the yardage for him to play off the back end of it.
Henderson with another run from dummy half. Salford 30-0 up against Wakefield. Here it's 32-10 to Bradford at the home of the champions. For the first time in a long, long while, Leeds just quietened a bit on their own ground. What a crunch tackle on Lee Smith.
As Ian Millwood said, there's only one way to learn, and that's get plenty of opportunities. And I'm afraid, for Lee Smith's sake, that's what Bradford will do. They really will dink it into his corner.
Salford beating Wakefield, by the way. We see Saints and London Saturday night at 6 on Sky Sports 1, and a great chance for St Helens to claim top spot. But Salford beating Wakefield, and Wakefield the only side to win here at Headingley this year until tonight.
Yeah.
McDermott, oh, wild pass. Ben Harris has it back for the Bradford Bulls. Widnes, now that Salford have beaten, even though there's a little bit to play against Wakefield, even though Salford have beaten Wakefield, Widnes have to beat Warrington to stay in the Super League on Sunday.
Well, to be fair to Leeds, they will certainly pinpoint, and no doubt their coach will do exactly that, in that Danny Maguire and Keith Senior being taken from the field of play certainly hasn't helped them, but take nothing away from Bradford. They have really turned the screw.
Here they come again. They're not letting up, are they, Bradford? You wouldn't expect them to against Leeds. And it's now with Harris, and here is Deacon. And Deacon running at that defence. That bounces off Barry McDermott. It's play on. It's a try for Iestyn Harris.
I think he'll go to the screen.
No, he's given it. A try for Harris. He's had to endure some horrible moments from the Leeds supporters since he returned to Bradford rather than the Rhinos.
Well, I don't know whether this was done on purpose, but they fired the ball straight at Barry McDermott. Boom, straight into him. Couldn't get it. Harris was quick. Now, I don't know whether that was a fluke or whether it was a ploy, but they must realise that poor old Barry is not having the best game, come up with a lot of errors, couldn't get back to that. Opportunist try. Yep. If my mate's listening and watching, you're right. Justin Harris is earning his dough.
With a try in 5 consecutive games, as you can see. Justin Harris. 12 caps for Great Britain.
Yeah, I got that, cheers. Yeah.
The last one controversially in the Tri-Nations final, some will say. But peaking as Bradford are peaking at just the right time. Now after this, Bradford face Hull and Huddersfield at home. They go to St Helens in their bid for 3rd place. They have only finished outside the top 4 once in Super League. That was in 1998. They're bang on course for assault Old Trafford. Deacon adds 2 more points. 38 points to 10. Bradford have this in their pocket. They won't let this slip now.
Eddie, I'm a little shell-shocked, and I'm probably not the only one in this stadium. I knew that Bradford could score some points, but I didn't quite think that they would win by this margin. It's absolutely incredible, really. The turnaround, really, in the performance since they last came here. Is it 7 weeks ago? Massively improved side, as you say, with this sort of momentum behind them. They really have a chance. Jamie Peacock again charging forward. Just looks as though now Leeds have got stuck in the reverse gear and they can't get their hands on the ball. When they do, they're on the back foot. Bradford dominant in most aspects of the play.
It's a great win for Bradford. It has to be tempered though, Phil, by the fact that Maguire and Senior off the field and have not played much part in this game for about an hour, well, since the 30th minute.
You're right, Eddie, and I have to agree with that, but I also pose the question in as much that the Bradford pack, they have just crucified their opposition. They have given it to them. We anticipated it was going to be like that for the first 20 minutes.
Well, the first 10 minutes, Steve, were just all Leeds attack.
But once they got into the swing of things, I expected it for maybe a quarter of the game. But Bradford have done it throughout. For 65 minutes, they've just bruised them, out-muscled them.
Harris again. He's revitalised. On the bounce, it makes its way out to that far side to Ben Harris.
We made the point, Eddie, before the kickoff. You know, would it play on their minds? Well, as soon as you went out, when Langley scored that try, very early after the restart, that's when the minds start dancing. Oh, I don't want to get injured. We've seen 2 go off already. Will they miss the cup final? It does play on your mind.
Harris to Peacock. Dances away from McDermott. Gets the ball away to Ian Henderson. It's with Leon Price. Price for the line. Oh, how did he hang on to that, Peacock? But he did. Gives it back to Ian Henderson. That's the last tackle for Bradford. Price waits, dummy half. Play on, says the referee. There's Rod Shimozel at the ruck. Harris to Deacon.
Backwards.
They still have it, Bradford, with Leon Price. It's still the last. He's offside. Ben Harris was offside. Doesn't matter now.
Have got it.
Yeah, Gareth Ellis.
Well, I must say, when that ball went out wide, it appeared to me that only Gareth Ellis was in attendance out there on the left-hand side. Well, their minds have gone astray, and it's pretty difficult. There's no one at home there. But watch how Ellis said, well, Marcus Pye is going to jump for the ball, and there's no one else covering across.
Salford at 30-0 up have gone for a 1-pointer. They obviously listened to the Steve-O coaching video and CD.
Silly play. Silly play right round the throat.
Yeah.
had a big game,
You're around the head.
Shotane
You drag
Harpy,
it down
but
to the head, okay? Away from that area.
he'll get no accolades from his coach for doing things like that.
He will get accolades for his 2 tries.
Oh yeah, he's been superb.
He's been saying all year, hasn't he, Brian Noble? Just let's see what happens when we get them back. When Leslie Vinacolo and Shotane Harpy returns and Paul Johnson. This is Duneman for Leeds.
Another knock-on. That short pass, sometimes if it sticks, it's glory.
I said in the first half, Steve-O, that John Keir watching this will be rubbing his hands and smiling the fact that there's a couple of perhaps crucial injuries ahead of the cup final.
Well, he'll probably...
I wonder whether he will think that, you know, at 38 points to 10, maybe the Leeds defeats come a week too early. Because this is a wake-up call for the Rhinos.
They don't usually lose 2 games in a row, do they?
No, they don't. That's what I'm thinking.
It's a mind game.
In fact,
he'll be mind games all next week.
Tony Smith has never lost 2 in a row in his time at Leeds.
That's made us all quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah. Nobody wants to respond to that, obviously. Maybe Leeds will next week.
Wasn't complete. Keep coming. I'm now.
Leeds haven't played all that badly, just a few errors, few mistakes.
And they've been disrupted by the injuries. I'll go back to that.
Yeah, of course they have, but all sides do that.
But Bradford have put them to the sword.
Oh, they've just belted them.
No question.
They have just got into their ribs, like you wouldn't want to believe.
Well, too much into the ribs then, penalty.
Now, it's important for the Rhinos to get themselves sorted out here and say to themselves, look, let's show to each other we've still got the quality. Okay, you mentioned the 2 stars off. We've still got to perform. That could happen at any time. You've got to make sure, and they've got to score maybe a couple of tries, just get a little bit more confidence back into their bodies and into their minds.
McDermott gets to his feet. He's hurt now. Diskin was the dummy half. Sinfield brilliantly picked up again by Lauatiti.
Back to 6, that should be.
Yes, the referee wipes the tackle count down. In fact, he will bring it back because it was a knock-on by Bradford.
No advantage.
No advantage to Leeds because they've gone back 20 metres, so he'll put the scrum down with head and feet to the Rhinos.
He's had a great game as Ashley Klein. The only dubious one was when it looked as though there was a knock-on and lost ball in the tackle, and that wasn't his fault. It was the touch judge that had just not combining.
Ian, do you think that Bradford have shown maybe Hull and other teams a chance of beating the Leeds Rhinos this year? When the players are offloading the ball, you've got to get other defenders who are in the back, as we saw then, forcing the Leeds player when he receives that offload, that it goes backwards.
Well, that was silly play there by Chev Walker. He came in with the elbow. Sorry, Phil, but that was ridiculous.
You love a fight, Steve-O, don't you? You love that part of the game.
Yeah, but look at that. I mean, that could cost him a place in the final. What's this? Okay, they've come up with the error, and then he says, "Oh, well, I'll put the elbow in."
I tell you what, it's good refereeing that he understands the emotion of the game. He understands what's at stake next week. It could be very pedantic there. You're dead right. Look, Phil, you know, the offloads haven't worked as well for Leeds in the second half because of the structure of the Bradford defence. They've stayed together. They've kept pushed up. They've been very honest. They haven't retreated until after the ball went dead on the ground, and that's been vital. But I've got to say, their kicking game's been better. They've been defending more in the opposition half. We can be more aggressive, and sometimes the opposition aren't as adventurous, and they're all been contributing factors.
Henderson to Easton Harris. Flicks the ball back. This is his namesake, Ben.
Movement! Stand up play, Ben! Stand up play!
Henderson. Deacon. Johnson. Fielden. Away from Barry McDermott. Henderson again. Withers.
He's had a top game as well as Michael Withers. Knows when to chime into the three-quarter line, and this will do wonders for the confidence of the Bulls, you know.
Henderson!
Oh, that's wonderful defence. Wonderful defence there. Held up, back to the tackle. He's worked hard. Gareth Marathellas. He certainly doesn't deserve to be on the losing side.
Bradford held up over the line. Tackle count continues. Brad Myers. This is the last one. Leslie's there. Leslie by Nicola wide. And I think Shontaine Harpy's in for the hat-trick.
Let's check the touchline there, Steve.
Just wants to check whether he was in touch.
Try time.
No problem.
And again, quick thinking. Realised the switch to the blind side again. Confirmation TRY.
Hat-trick for Shontaine Harpy.
Well,
He has come back with a bang to this team.
He'll get the TikTok for that. He's had an outstanding match.
7 tries now in his last 3 matches, Shontaine Harpy.
But he should be saying thank you very much. And it's the ability to work that blind side. Winger just out of position enough to give Harpy the hat-trick. But he shouldn't be too disappointed, Lee Smith. He's had a fine match, he's tried hard. But they've just been outclassed, they've been out-muscled.
New Zealand international Shontaine Harpy missed 22 games this year. Back for the last 5 now, and each and every one won. 2 tries here in the playoffs last year. Deacon does not add the extras this time. But it's 42 points to 10. Shontaine Harpy with the hat-trick.
Just excitement, out of position. That's the one thing that will impress Brian Noble, the Bradford coach, is the ability of their players. They have been really thinking hard, looking at where the weaknesses are in this Leeds outfit, and they found them. Well, everybody turned around, didn't know where the ball had gone.
Knock on, he says. Knock on by Leeds. Head and feed to the Bulls. From a short kick-off at 42-10 down.
Well, the worst day here before this one was the 44 points that Wakefield racked up against them, which many people thought was a one-off, but coming towards the end of the season, 42 points at home, Ian, it doesn't a good omen going into a cup final.
Nah, look, I'll tell you what, they won't even watch the tape, Phil. It won't even have anything. They've planned for next week. They'll try to beat Hull on what they want to perceive what Hull's strengths and weaknesses are. This game will not even be looked at because you move on. They're consistent all year. They've been dominant all year. It's a one-off. They've had some disruptions. Leave it alone. Get on with next week.
Okay, let's go down. Well, hang on. We'll just see how this develops with Paul Johnson. The ball's lost there. Leeds have got it back. It's a penalty, though, to the Bradford Bulls.
There's 2 in there, Marcus, when you took it out.
5 minutes to go. 42-10. Bradford penalty for a ball steal by the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, it'll give Hull a lot of encouragement. 37-0.
Wow, that's a great win for Salt. What's happened to Wakefield? Amazing. They make sure that they're going to be safe.
Yeah.
They give Tony Smith the job.
He wins Coach of the Month.
And then nothing. Literally nothing, and nothing tonight. Harris dabs the ball towards the try line. Richard Mathers says, whack, let's get rid of that.
Yep, Mathers said, let's get on the coach to Cardiff. Push this to one side, get it out of him. And they are professional enough, this Leeds outfit, to do exactly that. The positive thing. But the kicking game, as the game has progressed,
let's go down to the press box, Steve-O, and see who has won the watch as man of the match. Dave Hadfield.
We thought it might be one of those nights where Kevin Sinfield orchestrated everything, but it's Bradford who've lost to the pace. Lots of candidates from them. I think Justin Harris has been very strong tonight. We almost gave it to Leon Price. He might be on his way out, but he's had a big game. In the end, we've gone for Shontaine Harpy, showing how much he's been missed this season. He's really looked the business again tonight, and he's our man of the match.
Shontaine Harpy then wins the Tissot watch as man of the match. And very well deserved, and they are delighted that he is back in the side. It's like signing a new player coming into the business end. Shontaine Harpy, man of the match.
Fully deserved.
Bradford have not finished. Vangenaar, Deacon.
Getting back to that point about Hull for next week against Leeds, the one thing that it was shown to John Keir is the way that this Bradford pack have just demolished the Leeds 6.
Harris's kick.
What a
Lee
save.
Smith takes it brilliantly. Oh, but then loses it. Salford have beaten Wakefield 37-0. It's 42-10 here, and Bradford looking for more in the closing 3 minutes.
It's a tough apprenticeship, isn't it, Steve-O, when there's 20,000 watching you learn your trade.
Yeah, you're right there, Phil. And also that if they're giving the tape of this, let's hope that he blacks out with about 15 minutes left, because he's had a good game up until that point.
Deacon gets the ball away to Harris, evades the challenge of Jamie Jones Buchanan. Gets the pass around the corner, Henderson does well. That hits the deck.
That's a knock-on.
First tackle. Hands off him now, Jamie.
Yes, Leeds have got it back in the shape of Diskin. Here's Mathers.
There has been no hint of the Rhinos throwing the towel in. They have stuck to their guns, but they've just been overpowered. It's been a fine performance. Brian Noble will be extremely proud.
Burrow.
Come here to Johnson. Oh, he should be penalised for that.
Brian Noble's bid for Old Trafford gathers momentum.
Well, just over a minute and a half for Bradford to get right in the faces and maybe just enjoy another cruncher.
Duneman. Chev Walker hacks the ball forward. We were on the last tackle. Harris does well, gives it to Withers. Toying with them now, Leon Price.
I've never seen Leon Price go looking for the ball as much for a very long time.
Banganar.
Made it quite clear over the years that he feels his best position is stand-off. And in the second half, he's played as though he wanted to be a stand-off. There he is again, controlling things.
This could be a very, very significant weekend. The St Helens can go top if they beat London on Sky Sports Saturday night.
And that will not be easy.
It won't. Bradford will leapfrog Hull here and go third in the table. Warrington, if they beat Widnes, can put the Vikings down. Salford, safe. And here comes Mathers to try and finish with a flourish for the Rhinos. Halted by Jamie Peacock.
Hands out!
Last 15 seconds of a win that the Bulls will savour. Burrow. One more tackle will do it. And Mathers will hoist the king. Withers is underneath it. And throws the ball dead, and that will do. Bradford were behind 4-0. They turned round 12-10 ahead at half-time, and significantly, Danny Maguire and Keith Senior, off the field injured, played no further part in the match. In the second half, it was one-way traffic. Langley, Deacon, Harpy, Paul, Yistin Harris and Shontaine Harpy again. 6 unanswered tries in the second half for Bradford. They march on. Old Trafford's in their sights. What for Leeds in Cardiff?